Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Recovery Lab TV. My name is Chris, and it is our Friday prehab session for the lower body. Okay, so if this is your first time, don't forget to hit the like, share, and subscribe button down at the lower bottom of the screen. And today is literally a corrective exercise for the lower body. So if you have hip problems, knee problems, ankle problems, or if you want to just improve your overall performance, this is the session for you, okay? So, good morning to everybody live with us right now. Use the comment section just like Gemma, and let me know how you're doing. Let me know that you're here, because all I see is a number. I don't see a name, so it's always nice to see who's in the class joining me with me and everything. So, good morning, everybody. Hope you're all okay. Hope you're nice and warm, dry, because outside in Cardiff it is miserable right now. Hope it's nice where you are, or at least, like I said, you're warm and dry. And here we are all together. Okay, so the things you're going to need today are a nice big yoga mat, okay, a bit of space. Hopefully you got a bit of space. You're going to need some resistance bands. Now, resistance bands, I mean these nice little small ones that you kind of go around your legs. Just like so, just like this little one. You're going to whip around your ankles in a minute and warm up your hips. If you have some sort of balance cushion, that would be absolutely awesome. Okay, so they come in the form of a little wobble cushion. Okay, looks like a minstrel. If you ever eat chocolate, but yeah. Or you're going to have like a balance cushion, like an Air X pad. It's kind of like a memory foam. Now, if you don't have those, don't worry. Okay, alternatives are a couple towels folded nicely, and you literally just stand on that, and that is your balance cushion. It's going to cause a little of instability. Or you could just get a couple of cushions off your sofa, depending on whether you mind or not. Just stack them over the top. Alternatively, the floor will just be as good. Won't challenge you as much, but you'll get the challenge because naturally you'll be unstable anyway, depending on your balance ability. So hopefully you've got yourself a drink. Hopefully you've got some sort of ventilation or air, not that you probably need it on a day like this. But yeah, hopefully you're nice and well. Okay, good morning, everybody. Grab yourself a little space and let's warm ourselves up, okay? So to begin with, what you're going to do, depending on hip mobility, you're either going to draw forward like so, okay, come back, stick to the one side for now, okay, or you're going to use an object like this that is raised and you're going to drive forward and back, forward and back, making sure the movement comes from the hip and not driving out and around, okay. Some of you are going to want to do that because of hip mobility, okay. Try your best to draw forward as you do it, okay. So, just like so, stick with one side to begin with. We'll warm up and we'll work the other side. That's it. Good. Two more. Just be careful of your knees on the floor. Don't want any friction burns or anything like that. Swap in size. That's it. A couple more. Last one. Great job. Okay, so from there, laying on your side, just like so, okay, one hand out in front, you're in a lovely straight line. Now, the bottom leg, I want you to keep on the floor this time, okay? You're gonna stretch out as tall as you can. You're gonna try and kick up and hit this hand if you can, all right? Now, that back stays lovely and straight. You don't bend into it. Try to stay nice and tall. Go out, wide, up, tall. Push your chest out as you do it, okay? Place your hand on just above your hip, because what that'll do is allow you to put a bit of pressure there so you don't compromise, okay? Nice and tall. Big draw up. Big draw out. Good. Good. A couple more. Last one. Spinning around. Nice and gentle. Okay, so big draw up, big drive out. That's it. Good, a couple more. Good job, one more for that. Awesome job. Okay, so gently jumping up, grab your little bands. Okay, now with these little bands, what I want you to do is just place them underneath the balls of your feet. Okay, did this last week, right? Now, what I want you to do is keep your feet dead straight so they're focused towards you. So you've got straight feet, straight shin, straight hip into the shoulder. Okay, you're gonna push your bum back, push your chest out, so you're kind of like that. Okay, in that seated position. And what you're gonna do, you're gonna step ever so slightly. Okay, so it's about maybe 2 inches because of the resistance of the band. Now my feet is still straight, and then you're gonna slide it back in so they're directly underneath each other. So it looks like this. All right, slide underneath. There's still tension on the band. Okay. All right. So little step, little slide. I don't bring it in so all of a sudden that band is loose. I keep the tension underneath it all times. All right. So I'm going shoulders maybe, then slide to hip. Shoulders to hip. Small little movements. Noticing that my knees stay dead straight as I do it. Okay. So keep going wide as you can. Keep your knees facing forward, keep your feet facing forward. Good, keep it going. Just start to feel it in the side of your hips where I'm holding. Making sure that those feet are facing forward, that you're not driving out with the toes, and that knee isn't dropping inwards. Okay, this is really bad for your knees. There we go, a couple more. Good. Good. Okay, so what I want you to do is grab a seat. Bands are going to be in the same position. Okay, balls of your feet. You're going to dig your heels down. Okay, you're going to step out. Right, so they're just wider than your hips. Okay, and your band is going to want to pull your feet inwards. Okay, you're going to draw out and a little further, and then back in the middle. Okay, they're not back in there. Okay, so they're dead straight. They're a little further out, so it's quite tough holding it. Okay, your hands are behind you. You've got a proud, puffed up chest. Okay, so as you're doing that, you're not slouching. Hips out. Okay, you can feel it all down the shin, potentially in a thigh, depending on strength. And you're driving outwards, a couple inches, and back in. So it's only a small movement, but it's stemming from the hip, not the foot. Okay. So keeping those feet nice and proud. They go straight or they go out to the side. They do not go in. Okay. So start to feel your hips working incredibly hard. You try to tuck your toes up towards you. Good. Keep it going. That's it. Good. Okay, so this time, taking your feet, both feet wide, okay, keeping it there. You're going to keep your left leg, okay, as still as you can. So that stays dead straight, okay? Your right leg is the one that moves while the left leg stays completely independent and is working really hard to stay as straight as you can. You don't want any kind of window wiper effect where you're going to go in both one side or the other, okay? You want one still, one causing a rotation. That's it. Keep that chest puffed out. Good, that's it. Big rotation out. Keeping that other leg as still as you can. Really fix it in place. Good, almost there. Good, swap this side. Okay, move back so you can see my feet a little bit more. So, walking out wide, okay, drawing one out, keeping one still. Now, some of you are going to feel a little bit more on one side than the other. For me, this leg tends to be, just feels a little tougher. But try your best to keep your opposite leg dead straight, okay? So, controlled movements, okay? Should be a little, kind of like a burning sensation in your hip, side of your bum, where that kind of dimple is. Good. Two more. So last one. Good. Okay. So chucking it down and off. Okay. Grab yourself a little drink and grab yourself a balance cushion. Okay. So what you're going to do, you're going to plant one foot on. Okay. Now, if you have a pole, okay, like I do, you're going to hit that pole on the front, just like so. You're going to balance one foot there. Okay. Nice and easy. Making sure, probably do it easier this way. Making sure, okay, that you have enough room behind you because you're going to be bringing out your leg, okay? So you're sliding down the pole deep as you can. Tap, shoot up, okay? So using that pole as a guide, digging your heel down, separating your toes, coming up just like so. That's it. Big deep breath. Good, almost there. Good job, well done. Swapping legs, swapping hands naturally. When you do so, okay, put your foot in the same position, separate your toes, okay? Really kind of open your toes up as much as you can. You want to focus on driving your heel and your big toe into the floor, okay? So, slow and steady, take your time. Trying to draw your knee back, and ideally keeping that leg as straight as you can. I know there's a bend in mine, but that's due to hamstring tightness as opposed to anything else, okay? So your goal is to keep your leg as straight as you can as you bend down. Good, almost there. Say it one more. Good job, well done. Shake it out, okay? So, nice and loose, nice and easy, okay? Start again, opposite foot, the one you started on. Okay, coming down nice and gently. If you fancy a little bit more of a challenge, draw that leg up and through. So big deep breath. So you've got it. Sit, gently swap the sides. So nice and steady again. Slow the lowering phase down. Okay. Focus on balancing. Ooh. Good, deep as you can. Good, nice and steady. And relax, good job. Gently shake it out. Have yourself a little drink. Got to stretch out your ankles. Let me know how you're doing, how you're finding it. Okay? It's always good to hear and good to see how you're getting on. Turn this lighting up. There you go. Boom. So, how are you feeling? Is everybody feeling it along here within their ankle? Are their ankles on fire? Because this is going to be really, really good for ankle stability, hip stability. Some of you are kind of feeling knee wobbling around as long as your knee isn't driving inwards, okay? So internally rotating, right? Doing that, okay? Then great. If it is, imagine you're digging your feet into sand. So that corkscrew feeling where you can draw your foot down and draw your knee out like that. You're trying to twist your foot into the floor, okay? Because what happens kinetically is you kind of imagine your soft tissue underneath it is kind of coming around and wrapping up and then coming across here and pulling out the outside, and those glutes are then really firing, and that front, the tibia, is kind of really firing as well. Now, if you don't have that rotation in that foot there, you kind of really ground your foot, it really kind of allows the knee to kind of wobble all over the place. And typically, it draws inwards and falls in because these aren't active, okay? Now, if that happens, it puts a lot of pressure on your ACL ligament and your lateral and medial ligaments on the inside and outside. Now, typically, if you're female, most females, because their hips are wider than their knees, you're 70% more likely to cause damage to that ACL than a male, okay? So when you're landing, okay, and those knees are drawing in, now that doesn't necessarily mean you're jumping. That could be walking, running, going downstairs, going down a curb, whatever it could be, really has an impact. So the more you do this, the more you draw out, the more stability you give in your ankle and your hip, the better you're going to safeguard these knees, okay? So if you do love running, you do love sports and so on, it's really a brilliant way of bulletproofing those knees and safeguarding yourself for the longevity of your sport, okay? So back onto that original foot. We've got one more round and then we're going to mix it up, okay? So plant that foot, separate those toes, and then rotate in so it's kind of there, and you're kind of twisting that foot ever so slightly, right? It doesn't necessarily move, okay? It still faces forward, but you're creating the torque within the muscle tissue and that soft tissue, okay? So from there, when you come down, that leg will drive out and not in, okay? Out is good, in is bad. Draw it in, and then draw it out. Okay, slow and steady. Good. That's it. Good. Keep it up. Keep it going. Say last one. Should start to feel that foot working a little harder now that it's kind of rotated. Good job. It's that kind of burning sensation. I know it makes it harder. However, that is where you're getting that activation, okay? So the more it's on fire, the more you're activating it and the more you're working those muscles, okay? So separate the toes, expand that, all right? It's kind of like separating your hand and making it as big as you can. The more ground contact you have, the better you can enhance it, okay? So slow and steady, drawing back, nice and easy, coming down, big drive through. Ooh. Nice and steady, there we go, good. That's it. Keep it going. Really good. That's it. Good, there you go. Keep it up. Ooh. Big deep breath. Say one more. Push through the pain if you can. Great job. Shake it out. Give it one of those. All right, it's going to help remove that lactate in the ankle, which is causing that kind of fatigue and that burning sensation, okay? Check your balance pads or towels out the way for a second, okay? What you're going to need is an edge of a sofa or chair. It could be a dining chair, it could be a buffet, it could be a box. What you're going to do is plant one foot, okay? You're going to lift up another foot. You're going to hold your hips. You're going to push your bum back, okay? And if you can, draw your heel against the object you're sitting against. So imagine if you're sat down just like that. It's kind of very robotic, but what it's going to do is really target those hips, okay? So it's safeguarding the lower limb, lifting up, you're drawing back, really leaning against it, drawing down. Now, if you cannot drive up, I want you to put your foot down. I want you to stand up, okay? I want you to hold on again. Push your chest out, okay? And I want you to slow this lowering phase down as you come there. Now, if you can drive up, you're going to lift this leg up off the floor and you're going to come up like that, okay? So it's down, up. You're not bouncing. You take the momentum out of it and you drive up like so, okay? Keeping that leg off the floor, losing the momentum when you come up, okay? Big deep breaths. Good, keep it going. Set two more. Last one. Good, shake it out, okay? A little rest, shake it out. Some of you, if you're tight here, you're gonna really feel it on that leg. Keep it up and you're gonna really struggle when you drive up to drive that up as well. However, those hip flexors are gonna be brilliant to help you at your deepest range. From there to here, if you're a cyclist, you're hammering them as you're in that position and drawing your leg up and down. It's those hip flexors that make the difference, right? So it's time to get really strong there and not just develop the quads themselves. Get the hip, okay? If you can get the hip, you'll get everything, okay? So opposite leg. Now naturally, you've picked your best one, okay? So this one's probably going to be harder for you, okay? So Take your time, slow it down on the way down, drive it up on the way out, okay? You ready? Big drive down, shoot it up as much as you can. Slow and steady, really work on it. As you're going down, okay, take mental note of where that knee is facing. Okay, you want your heel down, big toe down, knee driving out as much as you can. Keep it up. Big drive. 2 more. Slow and steady. Ooh. There we go. Last time. Good job. Shake it out. Okay. If you really saw here, this little stretch where you draw down, the one that we practiced the other day on Wednesday, where you lifted up here, had a straight shin and drove down, it's really going to target the hip flexors. Okay, so if they are sore, now's the chance to stretch them out. Give it 10-15 seconds each one. But let me know how you're doing, how are you finding it so far. It's quite challenging in some respects, isn't it? You know? And what we have to realize is we do everything one leg at a time, okay? So if your training does not include single leg exercises, okay, you need to have a look at your training plan, okay? So if you're not doing any lunges, any high box steps, any single leg pistol type squats or any of those variations, okay? Single leg RDL for Romanian deadlift, where you're doing this one, coming down and drive it up, okay? You need to revisit your training plan and program, because this type of stuff is what you do on a daily basis. When you walk one leg at a time. When you run, one leg at a time. When you land, it's one leg at a time. Okay, it's only kind of, that's not to remove all two-legged exercises like your squats or deadlifts, because they're really fundamental. However, they're the base, and then everything else should be off that in a single leg unilateral kind of manner, if you will. Same with your chest, okay? Like barbells, press ups, they're brilliant, but if you're not stressing your single joints at a time, you're only using one side or the other at a time, okay? Very rarely will you grab something and pull it towards you or push it away, all right? So just a thought, just a feeling, and by all means, if you have questions, chuck them in the comment section and I'll answer away, all right? So separating your toes, drawing up nice and proud, okay? One leg out, hips back first, then knee goes forward as you grab a seat, okay? Then it's a big drive up. Let's go. Very controlled. That's it. Good. Swapping legs. Separate the toes again. Heel down, big toe down, leg up, big drive down. Try controlling breathing with it as well. Really good. Sit, focus on the balance, take your time going down. Good, 2 more. Good, last one. Slow and steady. Good job, shake it out. Grab yourself a little drink. Yeah, it's a tough one that most of us need to work on, and it's one of those exercises that typically we neglect. You know, pistol squats are extremely hard, okay? But if you have like things like TRXs, okay, or even a towel and a banister, as long as obviously the banister is extremely solid, so they're like the base banister, if you will, not the kind of ones in between. Stick it around there, or use a tree in a park. Wrap it around. Use that kind of TRX band or that towel, and allow it to assist you. As long as your hips go back first and you draw down, eventually you won't need those TRX bands. Okay, it's where you're using, and naturally you'll start to cheat at the start. Okay, but it's always bum back first, and as long as you're using them to lean back and get the depth, and you keep that upper leg high, you're going to improve. Another way that we can do this, okay, is a little step version, okay? So if you have a raised object like a yoga block, okay, you're going to grab that for me now, okay? And I'm going to show you that version. And you could do these on curbs. You could do it off a little box if you have a box in the house. You could do it off the stairs in your house, okay? Pretty much anywhere with a step, whether it's a bench in the park or you name it, as long as there's a raised element to it, I'm going to show you how to do it. And it kind of really helped me advance, especially when I was using kind of the small block, then a little bit bigger, then a bit bigger again, and then eventually you're kind of doing single leg step ups. But it's a brilliant one because it can break down your squats, if you will, because you think if you raise, if you struggle going into a deep squat pattern, okay, and your step up is this tall, okay, then effectively when you drive, you're driving out of a deep squat as you stand up into that position. Now, you could do lunge versions where you're like that, as long as your object is nice and sturdy, and you're there and you come into that lunge pattern. It's going to really hit the hip flexor on the other leg, as well as the hip flexor on this leg. But also, if you have tight hip flexors, it's going to be a brilliant one for you to drive up and out, okay? So practice away and really focus on it and really concentrate, because it's going to really, really benefit you, I promise. So this next exercise, right, you want a nice flat version, okay? So you want it kind of on the flattest, the widest part of the yoga block, if you will. Or if you're at home and this is downstairs and you have some sort of step in your house, use that step, all right? It's only kind of a little raised area. Now, if you don't, not to worry, stay with me. I'll show you a different version in a minute, okay? So you're going to plant that foot just like so. You're going to come up. As you stick your bum back, you're going to raise this foot forward and tap your heel down, okay? So it's always reaching and always driving up, okay? Now it's the same with if you don't have a yoga block, okay? You're going to plant that foot, and if you're using the width of your mat, okay, your foot's bang in the middle, okay? Now all of a sudden my goal is to go, how low can I push my bum back and reach forward and then come up? It's the exact same thing. You're going to get a beautiful stretch here. You're going to work your hip flexor to hold that leg up, and you're going to challenge your lower back as well, okay? As well as the overall leg strength. Now, gently getting ready, okay? Planting that foot down, making sure the toes are separated, making sure your weight is through your heel, and don't hit any light fittings if you're tall like me. So, hips back first. It's always the starter, okay? Tap, shoot forward. To help with your balance, if you bring your arms forward as you come down, it's going to help you, okay? If you want more of a challenge, hold your hips. If you want more of a challenge again, hold your chest. Good, two more. Good, last one. Great, spinning around. Coming up nice and tall. There we go. Same again. Reach it back to push forward. Go as deep as you can, okay? Focus on the control. Come back up. Good, last one. Good job, well done. Now, what you should have felt is your feet working extremely hard, your hips drawing back, feeling on the side of the bum, feeling on the hips, the hip flexors as you're drawing up. And what you're going to find is neurally, the reason why you're getting hot and sweaty, out of breath so much, is because neurally it's challenging. There's so much going on during that. And it's only going to benefit you in regards to your balance, the fancy term proprioception, neural strength, explosive strength, because that comes from neural strength, and that overall power when you draw it up and you come up explosively, and you get that kind of squeeze here, okay, you're really going to activate those glutes. So people who sit down a lot in offices, driving, you name it, it's going to really help with those glute activations, which is going to safeguard those knees and help take the pressure off your lower back, because a lot of lower back pressure is weak hip flexors. Okay, you've got hip flexors that come through, attach here, come through, and attach to that T12 at the bottom. Okay, they're really weak, to be honest, because of staying in this position a lot. They're really tight here. Over here is overstretched. When you stand up to try and use them, there is no strength there. Okay, so this type of stuff, by forcing your drawing back and shooting up, okay, really helps develop strength in those hip flexors and those deep pelvic muscles, which helps take the stress off the lower back. Now, working on from those hip flexors, okay, you're going to stick your object in front of you. Now, if you don't have a yoga block, stick a foam roller in front of you, stick an object in front of you, stick a water bottle in front of you, whatever that is, okay? You're going to keep your feet tucked up, your toes tucked up, your knees tucked up, okay? The leg is dead straight, right? You're going to, if you have a sofa like this, you're going to open up your chest, and you can either push back the shoulders and the arms into the sofa or the wall, or you can put your hands up here, because it's going to help open up your chest. You're going to lift up, you're going to come over, you're going to come down, right? Now, some of you are going to feel it cramp straight away, and you're going to try and push through that kind of unpleasantness, if you will, as you draw up, okay? Open up the chest. You're going to want to lean in as you lift to try and give you some strength and power. I want you to do the opposite. Open up here, draw from the leg as tall as you can, come over and come up. Now, you'll notice that I'm lifted up way higher than the object, and that's because I can, right? If you can, get it as high as you can. If you've got the flexibility and the power to get it up here, then get it up there, okay? You're not making a big circle. You're making a big square coming across and down, right? So imagine that object is as tall as your body will allow, okay? And then clear it, right? Big squares over the object, coming up, over, and down. Good. Good, keep it up. Opening up that chest. 2 more. Last one. Great job. Stretching that out the other way, okay? Take it right out of the equation, okay? The opposite side now, lifting up, coming down. There we go. Big deep breaths. Good. That's it. Keep it going. So really work that leg. Really force that chest back. Last one. Good. Now if they're cramping, like I said earlier, draw into this position, draw down, stretch it out, get it through, okay? Doing amazing. We've got one more round like that, and we're stretching, okay? Keep it up. Now, doing exercises like this is a brilliant way of finding out which one's stronger than the other, why is it stronger than the other, and what can I do to help correct that movement. Now, I spend a lot of time standing to my right leg, okay? So I will automatically push my hips out like that, okay? Don't know why I do it, I just do. So I get a lot of tightness in my glutes. This glute fires less because of this tightness. But what I found then, especially in that exercise, is there's a lot of weakness here, okay? Now it's my job to then correct that within myself and make sure that I slow this one down and I work this side as hard as I would this side, okay? Because naturally, if you have one stronger than the other, it's quite easily to show off with your good side or favor your good side, okay? What you need to do is focus on the weak side and work that as hard, if not harder, than your good side, okay? That's where the discipline comes in. That's when the progression kicks in, and that's when you make monumentous developments within your performance. Because if you can get this weak side stronger, when it comes to doing your overall squats, your overall deadlifts, running, cycling, swimming, whatever your sport is, you're going to have vast improvements, you know, because you're correcting things that are going to make you a little bit more stable. You're going to drive out a little bit more powerful, a little bit more controlled, and you're going to rely on other muscle patterns a little bit less than you normally would, okay? So it's really important that you do that, all right? So, proud chest, lifting up, original leg first, okay? Try and drive that weak side out, that other leg out, even my weak side. You're going to lift it up, over, and a big stretch out, okay? Really try and plant that in front of your body, okay? That's it, let's go. Sit as tall as you can, remember. Lifting up that chest. Open it up, kind of lean back into your sofa, your wall, whatever, but just keep the spine straight. Good, two more. Good, opposite leg. That's it, keep it up, keep it as straight as you can, over the top. Big drives in. That's it, keeping those toes facing up, the knee facing up. So it's all in line, all balanced, all correct. Whew. That's the one. Good, two more. Final one. Great job, well done. Whoa. So, chuck your object out the way. Make sure you've got a bit of room to stretch out. Okay. Finally winding it back. Opening up your legs. Sinking it down as deep as you can. Some of you is going to be a little bit tight on the quads, a little bit tight on the heels, on the front of your shins, in your ankles. And then you're going to walk it down. Good. From there, feet down, knees up, downward dog, pushing in there. Try to get those heels to the floor if you can. Draw those knees back as much as you can. Feel that posterior chain. Feel your upper back stretch. Breathe it out. And then you're going to drive forward with your left leg. Drop your right knee down, stretching out that hip flexor, that groin, just like so. Now, if you can, drop both elbows down. Try and keep that leg, that foot nice and flat, nice and facing forward. Good, keeping it there, leaning up, stretching back, reaching that toe, just like so. Hope you're all feeling good, guys. Let me know how you're feeling in a second. Good, swap the sides. Good. Again, if you can, drop the elbows down. Keep them in line with the heel. Keep that foot facing forward. Oh. Big deep breaths. See it coming up, stretching back. Reaching those toes. Did amazing today, guys. Honestly, really, really good. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you're learning. As I'm talking, and a lot of what I'm saying is making sense. And if it doesn't, please let me know, and I'll try and clear up what I'm trying to say. It's ultimately not perfect, you know, and I can only learn from making mistakes and moving forward. So, grab a little spot, bring your chest back, arms back, feet together. Absolutely awesome effort. Well done. Especially those who ticked every day this week so far. Boom, amazing. And thanks for joining me. Have a beautiful one. Let me know how you're doing, how you feeling. Whew. Yeah, a lot of what you're saying, Jem, is literally proprioception. So proprioception is your mind to muscle connection. And it's knowing, which is funny why, like, in the American drink driving exam, you have to close your eyes, touch your nose, and stretch your hands out, right? Now, that is proprioception. Now, most people can't do stuff like that, which is why swimming is so complicated. Have an amazing weekend, Paul. Which is why swimming is so complicated, because it's putting your head in the water, concentrating on what you're doing, and then your body just doing the patterns. So all of a sudden, that proprioception is quite hard and quite challenging. And as you get older, it becomes harder and harder to learn new patterns and new things. So it takes time, and the more information pass through your neural system, the way I like to see it is like a train, okay? Now, if you just do that movement super quick, okay, it's like a bullet train. Not many people can get on and off of the platforms, okay? So those motor units, okay, that muscle memory that you guys have heard it as, right? You got little motor units within your muscle. Those are the where there's store information, okay? The better you get at storing information, okay, will be the more you have half of the movement stored within the muscle, and then the other half stored in the brain. So then the brain only has to send half the information. So it's much quicker. It's like if you've always played hand to ball exercises, okay, like baseball, cricket, volleyball, basketball. If I throw you a ball, you can see it at a split second and just catch it, okay? It's the same with if I throw a ball up, and if you played football kind of sports and stuff like that, your go-to isn't to catch it, it's to kick it, you know? So it's learning that proprioceptive quality, and the more information you slow down, you don't want it to be a bullet train until you've developed the movement. What you want it to be is the slow locomotive train that just slowly passes through, and the more you control the movement, the more it burns, yeah, and the more you feel it, right? But if you can push past that burning sensation, that feeling, and just go, come on, a couple more, keep pushing, keep going, all of a sudden you store more information. More information is exchanged, and the muscle goes, this is what I'm going to do. This is how it moves. And then you forget 90% of what I've said. However, you'll never forget the feeling of when it feels right and when it feels wrong. Okay. And it's that feeling that I'm trying to get you to correct and learn, you know, and it takes time, but the more you slow it down, especially during these sessions, okay, not only will you develop yourself, but you'll get 10 times stronger. You'll be able to use a lot more force because your neural system has the capacity to do so because it's used to working so hard, you know, and then all of a sudden when you have to fire it like that, okay, it's not working really hard at all. It's just exploding, you know, kind of like a high caliber round in a gun. It just shoots it off, you know, it's not kind of trying to shoot it slowly and control it. It's boom, it's gone. Okay. So during these sessions, okay, especially the prehab sessions, slow it all down, allow yourself to learn the feeling, okay, and the movement will come and the performance will come, okay? So have an amazing day. Thank you so much for joining me. Thanks for putting up with my spiel. If you have any questions, by all means, chuck me a message, drop it in the comment section, either on here, the video afterwards, on the discussion board on the channel, or any of our social media platforms. If you go to the About section, they're all on there, myself included. So yeah, have an amazing day. I look forward to seeing you on Monday. Have a lovely one. Okay, you take care. Don't forget, you can access this channel at any point, any place, anywhere. And yeah, carry on. All right, have a lovely one, and I'll see you later. Take care. Bye.